the house, sell mine. I got mine for sale.
Mike,
Oh, look at the two kleptos on the end.
What'd y'all sign with? I don't know
He
what y'all
said
signed
from
with.
I don't know, but the two kleptos on the end right there.
I kept
Yeah,
mine.
Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Sabrina, I followed the rules again and see what
But
happened.
then we all came in and did a lot with ties on.
I kept
Well, I
mine.
understand that. That was.
That's what we
Because there were
get
cameras.
for.
I don't know
Real
who they
cameras.
were.
No, let me look, because I thought
10
I
seconds,
saw it.
Mayor.
Great, how are you?
Yeah,
No,
okay,
10 seconds,
folks.
Mike.
Hate to break up the party, but I guess we better get to work. So thank you for coming to the Vinton Town Council this evening. It was June 7th, and what an eventful day it has been here in the town of Vinton. And of course, we will start with the roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind waiting on the confirmation that we're live?
Oh, no, I wouldn't mind
You
at
are
all.
live,
Sorry. I blew
So
it.
you got confused, it's fine.
I'm sorry. Susan would have said, wait a minute, Mayor.
Okay.
You are live, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. As I mentioned, welcome to the Vinton Town Council meeting for this June 7th. And as we always do, we will start with the roll call, please.
Okay. Councilmember Lyles,
Here.
Councilmember Mullins,
Here.
Councilmember Stovall,
Here.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Here.
Mayor Gross.
Here. Once again, thank you folks for being here, and as our habit, we will start with the moment of silence. I'll ask you to stand for that in a minute. And if you choose to pray or meditate, I hope you will keep this country and this community in your thoughts and prayers, particularly the communities that have had some real tragedies lately. While we're standing, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Lyles, you going to do it, or?
Looking at the big crowd, I think I'll take it.
You did pretty good earlier this
Yes.
afternoon, so yeah, that'll work. So if you folks would stand for those items, please.
See what you're saying.
Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, folks. All right, the next item is our upcoming community events. Vice Mayor, what's going on?
A lot of stuff.
A
The
lot.
Vinton History Museum will be closed on July the 4th, though. And then also on July the 4th, we have the Town of Vinton celebration. That'll start at the War Memorial Lawn at 6:30 p.m. and go to 10 p.m. Lots of activities going on, DJ Flex, patriotic program, kids activities, food, trucks, and fireworks. The fireworks will start at 9:30. So lots of stuff going on, lots of fun to be had there. Rosie's Entertainment on Friday, June the 10th at 8 p.m. It's the Outlaws. And on June the 18th at 8 p.m. it's the Scholastics. The Lancelot Open Ice Skating is every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Twin Creeks, of course, has bingo on Wednesday, there's trivia on Thursday, and every Friday they have live music from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. The Veterinary Chamber of Commerce is doing their first bingo at the market this Saturday night at the Vinton Farmers Market from 7 until 10. $5 gate admission, kids 12 and under are free. No pets are allowed. Please bring a chair and come to listen to Five Shades of Grey, which is a very good band. We've all heard those and enjoyed it. The Town of Vinton presents our first cruise-in on June the 18th from 3 to 7 p.m. Park at the Farmers Market and listen to the 70s music playing over the speakers. Each cruise-in will be every third Saturday of the month, and it's dedicated to Billy Vineyard and his love for cars. Bring a chair, eat dinner, and watch the cars cruise by. And I know you'll probably be there, Mayor.
plan to be, yes.
The Boys and Girls Club on July the 4th, they will present the 4 miles on the 4th with Fleet Feet. For more information, to enter, you can go to www.4onthefourth.com. And then July the 4th celebration is Monday, July the 4th at the War Memorial. And wanted to thank the History Museum for the great ice cream social this past Saturday. Their next event is the yard sale, and that will be in August, on August the 27th, so I'm sure we'll announce that again. And thank you to the Public Works and to Police Department for all that they did to make Iron Man another successful event. And that is all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else have any announcements? No? A lot going on in Benton, that's
Yes,
for
it
sure.
is.
Yes, okay. All right, at this point, I would remind anyone that attends our council meetings, the agenda is always available at the door. It should be back there. And of course, that sheet also includes our guidelines and rules for conduct during our meeting. And with that, I'll move on to requests to postpone or change the order of the agenda. Are there any requests? If not, we will move on to the consent agenda. And this evening, that contains the minutes of the regular meeting of May 17th. Are there any changes or additions to the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Lyles, a second by Vice Mayor McCarty. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. And to the awards and presentations, tonight we have a proclamation for National Safety Month. Councilmember Stovall, if you would, please.
Mr. Mayor, whereas safe and healthy workplaces are vital to our well-being and the economic prosperity of the Commonwealth, and whereas each year more than 80,000 Virginia workers suffer serious job-related injuries or illnesses, and more than 100 Virginia workers die in work-related incidents, and whereas workplace safety requires the cooperation of all levels of government, business, and industry, as well as the general public, and whereas implementing health and safety programs can improve Virginia's business performance and contribute to the local economy and job force, and whereas workplace injuries lead to increased medical and worker compensation costs and diminishes productivity of employees. And whereas accidents and injuries in the workplace are preventable, and employees and employers must be engaged, educated, and aware of safety practices and policies. And whereas the National Safety Council has designated June as National Safety Month for 2022 and provides resources to promote safety in the workplace by recognizing hazards, potential slips, trips, and falls, combating fatigue and impairment. The month of June 2022 is proclaimed as National Safety Month in the town of Benton, and all citizens, employees of the town of Benton are asked to observe this month and promote good workplace safety and health practices.
All right, thank you, sir. Did staff have anything else they wanted to add to that? Nope.
I think we could just, Chief Drummond's also a member of the safety committee. I think the best thing we can add is that we really appreciate all the support that we've gotten from council and other staff as far as any kind of changes or implementations that we have done. Everyone's always been very supportive and communicative of what we were trying to do and feedback when we asked for it. So it's really not been that much of an uphill struggle for us to adapt and try to change the culture and the behavior of it. So we appreciate that.
Great. And Donna, if I'm not mistaken, I think overall we have a pretty good safety record with our staff. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, I blew it, didn't I? Yeah, well, thank you. And thank you, Councilman Stovall. Appreciate that. Citizens' comments. This is for anything that's not listed on the agenda. Don't see anything. All right, our public hearing for this evening, of course, this concerns the 2022-2023 town budget. So I will officially open the public hearing and we'll have the report from staff. Mr. Sexton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. And I think this should work. There we go. All right, so it is my pleasure this evening to present the FY22-23 Bentontown budget. The budget presentation tonight was provided at the previous council meeting by Town Manager Peters. So this will just hopefully be a higher level overview of that for the public and leading into the public hearing. And of course, if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to interrupt and ask. The FY23 budget is centered on the strategic planning that the town underwent in 2020 and looks to focus on the three strategic items, three goals that the town council had adopted: enhance the town's infrastructure and livability, maintain an efficient and high-performing government, and ensure the town's continued financial viability by actively pursuing quality economic development. So we task our department heads and managers each year when putting together their budget requests to try to tie those requests into accomplishing these three goals, and consistently our staff come through on that and help support the town's strategic plan. All right, Scott, you may have to drive.
Hold on for a second. I gotta fix the video signal for a second.
Okay. No, he had to pause the.
I don't have the. All right, I got you back. I don't have the PowerPoints in the corner. I apologize. There we go.
Excellent. So once again, these details were provided at the previous meeting by the town manager. First and foremost, we'd like to highlight that it is a balanced budget. That is, it is a legal requirement to have a balanced budget. We are continuing our investment in personnel. We're looking at a 5% cost of living adjustment and no change to the employee health premium. We continue to, as mentioned earlier, strive to hit the strategic planning goals that we've listed out. Also, of note in this budget, and where a number of the increases come from, at least to the bottom line, come from absorbing the utility fund expenses into the general fund. That comes from the transfer of the system to the Western Virginia Water Authority, which was approved earlier today. And then there are a number of new positions in this budget for enhanced service delivery from the town. High level, the proposed FY23 budget grand total is $17.7 million, representing a 28.4% increase year over year. When breaking that down, you can see that the vast majority of the expenditures in this upcoming budget are coming from capital expenses. The town has found itself in a very healthy position in one-time monies from the ARPA funding and from the transfer of the utility fund that is allowing us to pursue very aggressively capital projects within the next year. And we anticipate that sort of aggressive posture will continue for 2 to 3 years beyond that as well.
Great.
Once again, this is a visual representation of the previous slide showing that 43% capital, personnel, of course, coming in as second. This is our overview of the number of positions. As you can see, over the past couple of years, we've actually decreased our position count across the entire town. We are adding back some positions this year to get to that 69 number. But please note that because of the transfer of the water system to the West Virginia Water Authority, it actually represents a net reduction of 4 staff members. So despite adding new positions and enhancing services through those positions, we are still reducing the total number of staff. General fund. General fund revenues, the trends continue to be quite positive. What you see in the FY24 forecast, so while FY23 is projected to be higher than current, FY24, 25, and 26 increase with that one-time money with contributions from the Western Virginia Water Authority. So that is, as previously mentioned, supporting the capital funding requests and capital projects moving forward. In the revenue summary, we're seeing consistent growth across all of our revenue lines. We're projecting 30% growth in the general property taxes, and then continuing to see other local taxes such as parimutuel, meals tax, sales tax. They're all continuing to be very robust, and we are trying to account for what the economy could do since they are so consumer driven, but we're continuing to see increases in those. Expenditure budget. Public Works, Police Department represent over 50% of the budget. Those are our bread and butter frontline departments, providing the infrastructure, repairs that we need, and providing for public safety. So we are continuing to provide that high level of service in this budget and looking for ways to, once again, invest in our personnel. Grant fund. The grant fund, admittedly, is somewhat wonky this year, but we are in the same boat as all localities pretty much across the country. The major increase in the grant fund that we're showing comes from the influx of the ARPA funds from the federal government. So we are budgeting the new money, which is our second payment of $4.2 million coming in for this year, and using that for capital expenses and helping with the transition of the water authority. And these are the expenditures that reflect that. The capital fund, as many of y'all will remember, it's not been too many years ago that the capital fund was essentially defunct, and that we have continued to ramp up our investment in capital expenditures. So next year, using that the one-time revenues from the closing out of the utility fund and a little bit of transfer from the general fund, we're proposing more than $2.6 million in capital projects. These projects are spread across nearly every department and functional area in the town. Some of the largest expenditures are coming in highway maintenance with the roads. It's also coming through economic development and, and stormwater projects.
So Cody, excuse me for
Yes, sir.
interrupting. You mentioned highway maintenance. I think it's important that we relay the fact that this year our paving budget will be over $1 million. Isn't that
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir. And that's being bolstered by both increases in current year revenues, ARPA money, and sort of expenditure savings throughout the year. So it's one of the most aggressive paving schedules that we've had in a number of years.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because I think we normally do like 250 to 300,000.
We consider ourselves, the history seems to be a goal is about 400.
Oh.
More realistically, it usually falls short of that, just depending on availability. So by the way you look at it, we're tripling our
Awesome.
assessment.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, this shows the detailed list of those projects. So some of the ones to call out, we're investing in Mountain View Road engineering and design, continuing to move that project forward. We're looking at funding for Glade Creek Greenway. We're going to be investigating, beginning the process of planning for 3rd Street improvements, traffic signal improvements, museum repairs, and then other equipment that will go to support the operations of the town. So once again, it really is touching, Scott, if you can go to the next one. This is the list continued. It really is touching every functional area of town operations. Stormwater Fund. Stormwater Fund, prior to fiscal year 2023, this upcoming fiscal year, the Stormwater Fund was funded equally by the Utility Fund and the General Fund, with 50-50 contributions from those two funds. So this year, we're funding the Stormwater Fund completely out of the General Fund, so that's an additional expense that the General Fund is having to bear as a result of the utility system going away. But we have been able to maintain, absorb that expense in the general fund. So you can go to the next. This is a breakdown of how we're expending the stormwater. We have some administrative costs since the town is an MS4 for permitting purposes that we have to monitor our stormwater and report to the state. We, of course, do the street sweeping, which helps us and is a very visible part of our community. And then we have some other operational costs. So one of the items that we've looked at in transferring in keeping some of the staff that previously worked on utilities is looking for opportunities that we can use those skill sets in our stormwater program. The debt summary of the town. This is perhaps, in my personal opinion, one of the more exciting stories to tell about this budget. As of today, with the transfer to the Water Authority, the Water Authority will be either receiving or covering any debt associated with the water system moving forward. So in FY23 and beyond, that utility system debt is, for all intents and purposes, coming off of our books. Moreover, after, you all will be receiving an item for consideration later in the evening that will pay off all remaining debt that the town holds and has a 100% obligation on. Wow. So the FY23 budget represents essentially only the debt that the town will hold that has some sort of contribution from another party associated with it. So the town, presuming action later tonight, is anticipated from FY23 on to not be in any debt that it has a 100% obligation on.
Wow.
Awesome.
Incredible. It's incredible.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So it's a little convoluted to
Have
explain.
you ever heard that?
No,
Wow.
not even
And how many
close.
years has that been?
Long time.
2 years.
22 years. Gosh.
So the
Long time.
town will continue to hold a little bit of debt, but the debt that we hold, other people will be paying us for.
Yeah.
So
Kind of a pass-through.
it is. But for those obligations that we owe 100% on, we'll be, if you so choose, later in this evening, we'll be paying those off.
Yay.
Wow, incredible.
So the remaining calendar, the public hearing is actively open as we speak tonight. No action will be required after the public hearing, and we plan to adopt the FY23 budget on June 21st to go into effect on July 1st. Any questions?
Council, any questions or
No, sir.
comments?
Just for because it's a good day and it sounded good. Could you repeat that last paragraph that you said about?
Well, I think we should just order T-shirts that say 100% debt-free in 23.
In 23.
Look at you.
There you go. Knock that out quick.
Yeah, I like it. That's
You know,
good.
the assistant town manager side of my brain would order those shirts tomorrow, and the interim treasurer side of my brain
Says, "Wait a minute."
would have, you know, a star or an asterisk and all the caveats that go along with it.
The whole back would be.
Yeah.
Say, no, we can't afford it. So.
No, it'd be, we'd have to take out debt.
Right? We have to buy something.
That's about it.
Well, it is something to celebrate.
Yes,
though.
I feel that I can confidently say, sort of, you know, being very heavily involved in the creation of this budget, it's quite unusual for a locality to be in that position. We are very blessed with our financial circumstances, you know, coming out of the pandemic, going through the Water Authority transition, to be in that position and paying off the debt, since we have rightly such a strict fund balance policy. Paying off that debt was one of the ways that we were able to make the Water Authority transition work, because it freed up operational budget to continue the level of service and even increase the level of service that we'll be providing moving forward.
Yeah, really, thank you, Cody, for that really important point. I mean, we can certainly celebrate not having debt, but it's not because we've let anything go. You know, we're still providing a high level of service, and obviously our capital spending is great. So it's a lot to celebrate. Not only are we out of debt, but we're still able to invest in the town.
Well, yeah, and I think as we've said in finance, there is, you know, as we've said, there's a difference between good debt and bad debt.
That's true.
And then in the good debt, you know, we've naturally paid the good debt off and been able to, to do exactly what you said, so.
Absolutely. Very good point. Okay. Any other comments? Are there any, oh, I'm sorry.
Good report.
Yes,
Yeah,
great
good
report. I'll call for any comments from the public. Anyone? No? Okay, if there are no public comments, nothing else from council, we will officially close the public hearing. And as listed on the agenda, we will take action on the budget on the June 21st meeting. All right, thank you very much, Cody, for that. Moving on to our second public hearing of the evening, this is actually an amendment to our to this year's budget, 2021-2022, and it's for the equipment lease payoff, as Cody mentioned earlier. So I will officially open the public hearing and a report from the staff, please.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. So, while it would seem somewhat odd outside looking in to revise the current year budget in the final month of that budget, it has become somewhat common practice in recent years with the town, as we do a very active job monitoring our revenue streams and doing some good, healthy projections of those revenue streams, and of course our expenditures in our departments as well. So in many ways, the item that you all have before you tonight is somewhat like an end of year cleanup to make sure that we're covering any projected overages in some departments just through, you know, the nature of business as it continues throughout the year, and also putting those new revenues that are coming in, or those increased revenues, to good use before the end of the year. So one change on this is all of you should have on a legal size piece of paper. This is a revised listing of the budget transfers, and the grand total amount as advertised for the public hearing, $1,371,790.38. has not changed, but I was actually actively updating some of these projections and some of these account numbers this afternoon to reflect sort of real-time situations from some of the revenue streams. So I would just ask that when it comes time to adopt the resolution, that you do so with the revised budget transfers list. So at a very high level, what I'd just like to run through that some of these things are covering, some of the new expenditures that we will be covering with these budget transfers. In addition to covering some of those overages in the operational departments, we have proposed adding $100,000 for a full pavement striping and marking program in the entire town. This would go through and essentially repaint, restripe all 88 lane miles of roads, of town-maintained roads in the town. So we've received quotes on that and feel that that is a safe number for that project. Moving forward, we would budget a more alternating schedule, but this will essentially catch us up to where we need to be. We have the 2 lease purchase and bond payoffs listed. So $349,000 for a 2017 lease purchase that was Public Works equipment, and then $87,000 for a 2018 Public Works equipment lease. So those 2 will be paid off as of approval, if approved. And then we're also planning a $200,000 transfer to the capital fund. $100,000 of that will be to the Mountain View Road project to continue to bolster the account for that project as we continue to look forward to an eventual rebuilding project. So wanting to sort of help give some extra money there. And then the other $100,000 will be for general highway maintenance capital outlay. So these will be special projects that come up for any kind of road repairs that may sort of come out of the blue or look for opportunities to really enhance the level of service of a given road. So where these funds are coming from, the vast majority of the funds, about $654,000, are coming from projected overages in revenue streams. So our property taxes, our business taxes, bank stock, parimutuel, food tax, and cigarette tax are all running over current budget. Court fines and forfeitures and War Memorial Hall income are also running over budget. And so we would like to be able to utilize those funds for those projects, and that is what the action is tonight. And then we're also taking some of our departments, I would be remiss for not calling attention to the police department and their generosity with some of their vacancy savings. While we don't wish the police department to have vacancies, they are helping us to cover some of the other expenditure items throughout the town. So we're very grateful for that assistance from those departments.
Appreciate your help, Chief.
Yeah. And I say that with all sincerity. I would rather him be fully staffed.
Sure.
But
Yes, now,
We're fully staffed.
as of Thursday.
Good, good.
so this will be the last year. We're moving money around.
Enjoy it while you can, all right?
Yes, sir. So those are all in the general fund, and then in the utility fund, we have, if you remember, at a previous meeting, the town closed on a bond from the Virginia Resource Authority in order to pay the town's share of a digester plant capital improvement at the Water Authority's regional wastewater treatment facility. So that is, we have some bills that are due on the town's share in current year prior to the transfer. And so this action tonight in the utility fund will allow us to essentially pay those bills. It will allow us to receive the bond proceeds and then pay the invoices to the Water Authority to cover our share prior to June 30th of 2022. That is one of the bonds that after July 1st will be assumed by the Water Authority and will come off our books.
Right. Very good.
So it's a lot of detail. If you have any questions, happy to address them.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, we've all known that this was taking place, so kind of prepared. Well, not kind of prepared, we're very prepared. We thank you for all the information you've provided.
That's it. I would
it?
just, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
The only thing I would ask is, if adopting, I would ask that you adopt the revised list.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you for that report from staff. Are there any public comments this evening? No? Council, any comments, questions? Nope. All right, since there are no public comments or council questions, we will formally close the public hearing. And this is an item that we need to take action on tonight. Obviously, this would be a resolution to amend the budget as described by Cody.
I'll make a motion to adopt the revised list.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Mullins, a second by Councilmember Stovall. Donna, please call the roll.
One second, Mr. Mayor, just for clarification, on Ms. Mullins's motion to adopt the resolution and the revised
And the revised
list.
list.
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the motion is to adopt the resolution and the revised list.
Good job.
Thank you.
That's a lot.
And I'm sure that was still a second, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Now withdraw my second.
This is being recorded, Mike.
Oh, yeah. From our attorney, it's being recorded. I think we're good to go. We have a motion and a second.
All right. Councilmember Lyles.
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins.
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall.
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty.
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. Resolution passes. Thank you, council. Thank you, Cody, for two good reports. Appreciate that. Speaking of the attorney, I don't see anything listed, but we know a lot goes on. And by the way,
Today was a big example of that.
yeah,
A lot going on.
a lot going on.
That's why
There was a lot of work involved.
somebody was probably still working today while we were there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, just so you'll know,
Yes, sir.
not gonna be any more taxes, but we're gonna go casual from Memorial to Labor Day.
I was just going to mention that.
Business casual.
Cody's giving Jeremy some competition tonight. Good-looking ties, guys. And with that, we will move on to the town manager section. I guess that's a storm. Oh, no, that's someone in the hallway, sorry. So we'll move on to town manager section. Cody, I guess you're going to handle that tonight?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
There are no briefings tonight. Just two items requiring action. The first item is the consideration of the adoption of a resolution authorizing the town manager to execute a grant subrecipient agreement between the town of Vinton and the Western Virginia Water Authority for the award of the ARPA funds to the authority in the amount of up to $5.7 million. So this does, in some ways, tie back to your previous action in adopting the budget with budgeting the $4.2 million of the ARPA funds in the upcoming fiscal year. So, and I may rely on Jeremy, who helped work on this agreement, if there are any questions as well. But at your meeting on December 7th, 2021, Council adopted a resolution certifying its intention to have formal discussions with the Western Virginia Water Authority regarding the authority's ownership and operation of the town's public water distribution and treatment system. As of today, Council has passed a resolution formalizing that transfer, and in the process of moving forward with that and agreeing to that is the transfer of $5.7 million of the town's ARPA funds to the Water Authority for system improvements, capital improvements in the water and sewer system within the Vinton service area, so the town of Vinton and East Roanoke County. So this agreement formalizes that transfer of those funds and provides some guidelines and stipulations for the Water Authority in acting as a grant subrecipient of those funds. So.
As the recipient of the ARPA funds, we can grant them to a subrecipient, but we have to maintain some degree of control over how they are used to make sure they're used for proper purposes.
That makes sense.
Water and sewer is, of course, a proper purpose, so we have to just maintain some strings attached to the money to make sure the Water Authority uses them in that manner, which of course we have no concerns about, because that's how they spend all of their money.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And I can attest, in conversations with the Water Authority, they have already begun planning and engineering projects for the water system within East Roanoke County and the town of Vinton.
Yeah.
One thing we were able to do was structure this as what's called revenue replacement under the regulations, and that loosens some of the compliance obligations and reporting obligations that both the Water Authority and the town have upstream to the Department of Treasury. So it does help us all to be able to call it revenue replacement, which I know Cody's already taken care of registering that with the Department of Treasury. So.
Right. Well, I certainly think the ARPA funds have served us well. You know, it's really been a big boost for
Absolutely.
us. So it's been great.
Well, and we've spent it well.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean, it served us well. I mean, there's certain things we've spent it on, but I mean, we've utilized it well, I think, for the citizens of the town.
That's exactly right, Mike. Good point. Any other comments or questions concerning this? No? Well, Council, you have before you a resolution that would approve the transfer, I guess, of the ARPA funds as described by Mr. Sexton. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Got me worried
I
there.
had a mouthful the last time. I was gonna let you do that.
All right, thank you. The motion was by Mr. Councilman Stovall, second by Councilman Lyles. There you are. Donna, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Yes.
and Mayor Gross.
Yes. Resolution passes. One more, right? Oh, okay. Good evening, Anita.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor and Council, I'd like to call Director of Planning and Zoning Anita McMillan to present the next item.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, members of the Town Council, I do have before you a resolution to authorize the town manager to execute a public right-of-way development and maintenance agreement between Greenway Construction Incorporated and the town of Vinton for access to two properties owned by Greenway Construction Inc., 1323 and 1325 Duke Drive from undeveloped right-of-way extending from Duke Drive along the western boundary of the two properties. I have provided members of the council the aerial map showing the two properties. In January, Mr. Greenway contacted me regarding the undeveloped parcel. He wanted to make sure that property can be developed. Under the zoning ordinance, a property has to have a road frontage, but there is, under different zoning ordinance section, if there is undeveloped right-of-way and has been recorded, that property can be developed, provided that there is, there are some type of maintenance agreement in order for the property owner to develop that property. Just like any other any undeveloped parcel, they have to get entrance permit as far as to make sure that the property can be accessed. Staff has been working with the town attorney, Mr. Greenway, with Greenway Construction, and we have, with the direction of the town attorney, we developed the public right-of-way maintenance agreement, development and maintenance agreement, and has been, Mr. Greenway has been provided with the agreement, and he has agreed to that with all the condition as stated in the agreement. I'll be happy to answer any question. If you look at the package, there is a 1957 plat regarding the whole subdivision on there. It was ironic back in 1955 plat. It was signed by city engineer and it's in the Roanoke County. It's just how the town, as far as property became into the town. Anyway, and then the deed from the owner was like 1967 and then transferred to, right now Mr. Greenway decided to buy both of the lot. The existing dwelling at 1325 is also came from the undeveloped portion coming from Duke Drive. Basically, the public right-of-way maintenance agreement is to make sure that Mr. Greenway and whoever the future owner knows that the town will not be responsible in maintaining the undeveloped portion, will not be expected to do snow removal. And both property, the owners have the responsibility to make sure they will take the refuse collection, not, so the town truck doesn't have to go all the way to pick up their trash, as far as the trash collection, things like that. So I'd be happy to answer any question, or Mr. Carroll, I said he had helped us in developing this maintenance agreement.
Yeah, thank you. Very good report. Yeah, a really important point that we're not responsible for the road maintenance or the refuge collection right at the house.
It's actually a stretch that the town had no real interest in developing and bringing into the street system, but there is a third parcel at the end that would be landlocked if we were to vacate it.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to vacate the strip, but we also wanted to allow Mr. Greenway the opportunity to develop the land, so, to develop the roadway. So what we came up with was an agreement to allow him to develop it and maintain it. If the time comes that that third parcel is ever occupied, he'll have to make that available.
Right.
And in fact, it is a public right-of-way, so the public can access the right-of-way just like any other street. Of course, it's a street to nowhere, so there's not really a reason for them to at this point.
Right.
It just allows Mr. Greenway to develop the access he needs for those two properties.
Awesome.
So, so there's going to be individual houses built on this
Yes, sir.
this property, and they'll be for sale, and they'll be town residents, and so we just went through the whole trash ordinance and everything with cans, and we decided we weren't going to pick up like triplexes and things like that. They had to bring up. So remind me again why they have to take their trash as a homeowner up to the top of the road and we won't pick it up? Because isn't this kind of like an alley?
Correct.
It's kind of like that, but it's not a town developed and
Correct.
maintained roadway, so the town vehicles don't want to go down. That was my
Correct.
understanding from Mr. Peters. The town didn't want to go down that one-way strip. And I don't know about turning around and access and exiting. They might have to back out.
It's more like
Could be issues associated with getting down there and getting
Yeah.
out that might
more like a
matter.
private driveway, actually.
Yeah, but it's a public right-of-way, so it's not
It
a
is.
private.
No, yes, it is it's undeveloped public right of way,
Right.
but the town will not be responsible to develop in order for the trash truck to be able to access to that vacant lot, the two vacant lot. So whoever live by that property, they will have to take their refuse up to Duke Drive.
I guess the second part of my question will be, so we don't visit this again once this house is built and sold and the new owners are standing where you are asking us why we won't pick up their trash. Is that going to be in
Yeah, it's,
their part of buying this house?
yeah, so
Not in some-
this maintenance agreement will be recorded as a part and will transfer to the whoever buy that property.
Okay.
Yeah,
As long as
good
it's
point.
explained.
Yes, that's why we have this license agreement drafted and to be recorded with the property.
So is 1325 occupied?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but he wants to develop then the one
The
beside.
1323 to the south of 1325.
Gotcha.
And then like Mr. Carroll was saying, there's another vacant
There's another,
parcel.
right.
To that.
Okay.
Okay. Council, any other questions or comments? Okay, Anita, thank you very much.
We do have that resolution for your consideration to be,
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
As Anita mentioned, we do have a resolution before council that would approve the agreements as she has described with Greenway Construction Company.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Lyles, a second by Vice Mayor McCarty. Donna, please call the roll. I keep looking.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins.
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. Resolution passes. Thank you, folks. Okay, project updates.
No major project updates. The only two that I would call attention to are both tied to the Water Authority action that happened today. So beginning this week and probably even as we speak, Carvin's Cove water is flowing into the town through an interconnection between the Water Authority and the town. So those Water Authority operational staff will be present in the town, flushing hydrants and working to get that Carvin's Cove water sort of mixed in with our well water and doing regular testing, laboratory testing of the water, ensuring that everything is running smoothly. So our customers would have received a letter in the mail explaining that, but just wanted to highlight that will be continuing this week. And the final bill, usage bill from the town has been issued with a due date of next week, and the next bill that our customers will receive will be from the Water Authority.
Yeah. I appreciate you mentioning that, Cody, because I understand there could be some slight discoloration in the water as it mixes with the new water from Carvin's Cove. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So we
sir.
wanna
That
keep that in mind.
yes.
From what they said today, it'd be a little cloudy.
Cloudy, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Carvin's Cove water is, I'm going to say significantly, that's probably not a technical term, significantly softer than the well water that we use in the town. Oh, not reuse, that we use in the town. And so as that water starts to come into the town and into the pipes, it will dissolve minerals in the pipes, which are 100% healthy and can lead to, as Mr. Lau said, some of that cloudiness. And then, as always, as they begin to do sort of some very heavy flushing of the hydrants and of the system over the coming 60 to 90 days, it does have a tendency to sort of stir up sediment in the pipes, but the goal is that if we can get it out now and sort of stir it up, that over the long term, it will drastically decrease.
Gotcha. Yeah. Great, great, good news. All right.
And not to be, I mean, you don't have to go into the technical, but just for the public, how exactly is Carvin's Cove water getting to Vinton?
So
The infrastructure was sort of there.
yes. So going back many, many decades to when Roanoke City was expanding their water system, which the Water Authority, of course, inherited, became the Water Authority, there are some interconnects between the City of Roanoke system and the Town of Vinton water system that are, they've been in the ground, in place, sort of ready to be turned on, well, really, in most instances, should there ever be some sort of drought emergency, that they could help feed our system if we had an issue with the wells. And we do purchase, at times, bulk water from them. So at the corner, or approximately the intersection around Pollard and Virginia, there is an interconnect from the city, and they will, I guess they will have turned it on, and that water will start flowing into the system.
And in the map that has been sent out previously shows the downtown area first.
Yes, ma'am. And a general rule of thumb that I have used with our citizens who've called is if you are roughly downhill from the War Memorial, then that would be considered Zone 1.
Gotcha.
War Memorial and pretty much anything uphill from the War Memorial, that interconnect is not really going to reach that water, but the Water Authority does have plans in the future to build pump stations to sort of help get the water up the hill. But this is the low-hanging fruit, and they're sort of turning it on and going to see how it works.
Great, thank you.
You're very
much.
welcome.
Right, so we can expect to see the Water Authority vehicles in town very soon, right?
Yes, sir.
I've seen several.
they were there.
And it
They
was,
were-
it was interesting today.
The other day.
It was interesting today when they talked about in the cases of drought, the Water Authority is prepared, years ago when they needed to, and so that's
Yeah.
helpful to know. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's a good point. Actually, I think this transfer of our water system, formerly our water system, bolsters the entire Western Virginia Water Authority system. So they'll be a lot stronger and an even greater asset to the valley, I think. So,
I agree.
okay. I don't see any reports from committees listed tonight, so we'll start with comments from council. Councilmember Stovall, you want to start this evening?
You know, I was thinking about this earlier today. I'm of course getting some signatures. Actually, I was asked yesterday why I wanted to be on town council. And I looked at a citizen over in Dillon Drive, and I said, well, it's actually the people that sit to my left. And he said, I'm going to watch council meeting tomorrow night, so maybe very well watching. And then I said the great staff and the people that we have in the town today. And, I say this, that the citizens of this town, as a citizen, as we all are, should be happy of what government did for them today, because it was monumental.
Yep.
And I know it started before I got here, but of course, that was monumental. It's something that, like I said, that'll be around for a long time.
Yep, you're exactly right. Good comment. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, you have anything further?
We've referenced, earlier today several times, and I mean, today was the fun part. Today was the climax, the good day. But all the work that's gone on behind the scenes has just been more than the last 9 months. It's been a long time, and I appreciate everyone that's had any part of this, the paperwork, the negotiations, everything was it just fell into the right place at the right time. So thanks you.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody.
The legal work too, right, Jerry?
Absolutely.
A lot of it, yeah. Vice Mayor, you have anything further this evening?
Oh, it's just been a great day, and I'm glad to be a part of this council and a part of history,
Yeah.
making history today.
Amen.
Yep.
My normal, what I'm going to be doing, which Cody didn't remind me, but my restaurant, my shout out is to Jerry's this time. Chris and I were able to have lunch there the other day, and we had the hamburger steak, and it was delicious. So
Wow.
that is my restaurant shout out.
Yeah, they have great biscuits and gravy too, as you can see.
We'll just repeat what I said earlier today. Today was a good day for the town, for the citizens. I think the water is where it belongs, to a company that actually has it in their name, the Water Authority.
Makes sense.
Now we can focus on the town and what the town needs, and let the people that actually, not that we didn't do a good job with the water, I'm not saying that, just saying that that's a continuous thing that's always needing work and takes up resources and takes up revenue, where now we can let the experts continue, because we loaned them they took our experts from us. So let them do what they do, and now we can focus on what the town needs to do and what the town's been doing.
Well, yeah.
A very good historical day today. Also, just a shout out to the whole region for Ironman. It was, that's, I know it didn't, the traffic didn't sit well with a lot of folks in our town and around this area for those 6 hours on Sunday. But the economic impact that it did for our region was something that, a normal bike race or swimming race or anything would not bring to this region. So I know it was an inconvenience for some, and hopefully next year can be improved. But there is one more year, and if you look at the trends, the first year was, I think they said they had 15 or 1,000 more participants this year.
They did.
Wow.
So, and I know from like being at the finish line last year and what it looked like last year versus what it looked like this year, I can only imagine what next year is going to look like. So.
Yeah, awesome. Great comments, thank you.
Yep.
And I guess not to beat a dead horse, but this has been a great day of celebration here in the town, and one that we will long remember. As many of you folks know, I sometimes worry that someone that might be watching online or attends thinks, well, man, they just whipped through that service and adopted a budget for the entire year and transferred $5.7 million, and it went quickly. But that's because of our staff, and Jeremy, our attorney, had done all the work. And as you mentioned, they've worked hard and everything's being prepared. So a lot of work goes into what we kind of run through quickly at our meetings sometimes. So I just want to once again thank our staff and our attorney and everyone for all the hard work, because they're doing a great job. We continue to be blessed in town, and these are good days to celebrate. There's no doubt about that, that's for sure. Things are going well. And also, just a quick shout out, Scott, thank you for filling in today, and Donna, everyone filling in different positions, and Cody, great job this evening. So, anything further to come before council meeting?
Just don't forget to go to Mingo at the Market this weekend.
Mingo at the market
Mingo at
this
the
weekend? Yeah, that starts at, what, 7?
Is it 7?
7 o'clock, I think it is, yeah. And sorry to put you on the spot there.
That's okay. I'm
But,
gonna flip through here.
I think it's 7
Right.
o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, that's always a good time, and I'm looking forward to the car show the next weekend, too, by
Right.
the way, yeah.
Mingo at the Market, 7 to 10, $5 at the gate.
All right.
Okay.
Can't beat that. All right, anything further to come before council meeting this evening? If not, we will entertain a motion. Let me just quickly say, good to have you with us. This is one of our citizens here in town, so I hope you enjoyed it,
I could have picked one meeting, this would have been it.
Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one, that's right. So you do live here in town, I think you mentioned, told me near Bojangles. Awesome.
Appreciate y'all. I think I've been introduced to some of y'all, and I appreciate it. I love living in this town. Very impressed. Not that I'm the one that needs to be impressed here, but you all do a great job, and I really do appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Glad you
Thank
came.
That means a lot. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much.
We'll hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Don't make it a one and done.
Yeah, that's right. Come back anytime.
Mr. Mayor, Mike and I, back in the day, Mike used to be assistant Commonwealth attorney, way back in the day.
Oh, is that right?
Worked together. He was assistant Commonwealth attorney. I was, of course, police officer here, but he was in the assistant Commonwealth attorney's office, or the Commonwealth attorney's office.
Oh, awesome. That's great. Well, thank you, sir, for being here this evening. Anything further for this council meeting? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by leaving. Thank you, folks. God bless.
Hey, Mike, wait a minute.
Good job, Ms. Barnes.
Thank you, sir.
stuffy.
Thank you.